fake hiss.
It's like, what?
You get that egg
Good morning.
back? You're going to throw it again. She's going to throw it
What's
again.
happening? Oh, we're fighting over the egg
Violet,
shaker.
are you turning violet, Violet?
Hey, welcome to Sojourn. We've got a crew in the house today for our penultimate service.
What's your ultimate pen?
What's your ultimate pen?
I go back and forth between
Pilot G 207?
The one that's made for women.
Bic for women.
The pink one? Is it pink? I can only use the pink kind.
Dainty little
I'm
female
sorry.
hands can
You
hold
guys,
it.
we told you that things are just going to be more and more off the rails every week. I don't know what's happening. Hi.
Want to get down?
Bye, Violet. See you in a minute.
Morning, Susan. Morning, Mercy. Hi, Robert.
I love it when people hop on and just go, good evening. It cracks me up as I'm sipping my morning coffee. Speaking of my morning coffee, thanks for this.
You're welcome.
Corey put butter in my coffee this morning
Well, that's a thing.
because apparently that's a thing.
It's a thing.
They're using that.
And okay, so
Tastes good.
here's a premature collective conversation question: is what is a trend or something that got ridiculously popular that at first you were just like, that is the stupidest thing ever, and then you tried it and you're like, wait a minute, actually this is kind of great. Could be a TV show, could be
I'm trying to think of one because
a
I just
fashion
get
trend.
excited about trends.
So for me, the whole butter coffee thing, when it blew up a couple years ago, I'm like, that is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. I'm never putting butter in my coffee. And then you accidentally, a few weeks ago, got someone else's Costco order. Like,
Oh my God.
this massive Costco order got delivered to the front porch.
Massive. So massive. I called my brother-in-law in an emergency. Come over and pick up all this meat.
Get all this meat off my porch. So much meat. But one of the things in there was this bottle of MCT oil. And I'm like, what's this? I'm going to look into this. I'm like, oh, this is the thing.
Wait, is that what started your butter
That's
coffee?
what started the butter coffee thing. So you put a scoop of the protein with collagen powder in it, and then a tablespoon of MCT oil, then a tablespoon of coffee, and then you add your coffee. And I put a little bit of pumpkin or oat milk pumpkin creamer that you turned me on to.
It's making my
And you
lips
blend it up.
buttery. It's the part I don't like right now, is my lips feel buttery.
Oh, I like buttery lips. Maybe that's why I like it so much. So,
Hi, how are you?
What does
What's,
the MCT stand for?
Oh, thanks, Robert.
don't really know. Metrocollagene triglycerides,
Oh. Sounds totally legit.
otherwise known as mostly Colby talking, which is what we're doing right here.
Okay,
So,
that was nice. You took that and turned
thank
it.
you. Anyway, thanks for being here with us. We're gonna do what we always do here on Virtual Church. A few songs.
Yeah. I wish your bank account would allow for that. Because
It
that
just
would
got
be
you to the East Coast. Couldn't get you all the way to the West Coast. That's understandable. Kombucha. I wondered about that. I wanted Mela to also
And Topo Chico.
like kombucha, but I've tried it about 17 times, and it's just gross. It's not
Oh,
for me.
good. Me neither. I don't
Not
like
for me.
it. It's you and me. That's it. Everybody else is like super.
Robert loves your look this morning. Remember when you were not loving your look?
There's just this moment when you hop on the seat and you see yourself on the screen and you have to adjust because you look very different.
The lights are not.
Karen
gentle.
understands this.
Yeah.
you look very different to yourself on that screen than you do in the mirror in your bathroom. That's all.
Remember
That's
when-
the moment that was happening.
Remember
for
when
me.
we started a
That's
church?
Yes.
It's just funny that this is what it's come. This is what it's come to. Our service has been 10 minutes now of what? I don't know.
I don't know, but here we are. I think what this is stalling. It's dragging it out because we're sad.
We are. That is. You're right. We're getting everything out that we
Just
can.
trying to spend as much time with you as possible. All right, let's sing a song, shall we?
Welcome to Sojourn.
There are no slide whistles in this song. Oh, I lied. Now there are slide whistles in our song. I close my eyes and I can see the world that's waiting up for me. That I call my own. Through the dark and through the door, through where no one's been before, but it feels like home. They can say it all sounds crazy, and they do. They can say I've lost my mind, and maybe I have. But I don't care, so call me crazy. We can live in a world that we design. 'Cause every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head. A million dreams are keeping me awake. You think of what the world could be, a vision of the one I see. A million dreams are all it's gonna take. A million dreams for the world we're gonna make. Yeah. There's a house that we can build. Every room inside is filled
People we like.
with things from far away, all across the county. The special things I compile, each one there to make you smile on a rainy day, which it almost kind of is. They can say it all sounds crazy. They can say we've lost our minds. I don't care if they call us crazy. Run away to a world that we design. 'Cause every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head. A million dreams are keeping me awake. I think of what the world could be, a vision of the one I see. A million dreams are all it's gonna take. A million dreams for the world we're gonna make. However big, however small, let me be part of it all. Share your dreams with me. You may be right, you may be wrong, but say that you'll bring me along to the world you see, to the world I close my eyes to see. I close my eyes to see. 'Cause every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head. A million dreams are keeping me awake. I think of what the world could be, a vision of the one I see. A million dreams are all it's gonna take. A million dreams for the world we're gonna make. For the world we're gonna make.
Fit much closer to the table than I did. It's okay. I'll do the Colby like half in the chair thing. I'm just gonna this leg out holding me steady. It works. Yeah, you have like a foot down that anchors you, which is really smart because I'm normally just like rotating. Hi. The chair spins whether you want it to or not. You can tell which cards we had last week as choices because they have coffee spill. So should I prioritize the ones that have been here 2 weeks in a row? Are they most
for your interpretation.
I'm not gonna look. Oh, I wish I would have spoken up. When? ... I have a very clear story for this one.
Cool.
When I was up in Portland and I was at a church up there, I was working there and I had some friends who asked me to officiate their wedding and I wanted to be licensed through the church because that felt more official than the internet situation. And it was their church too, so I was like, this seems like the right thing. And so the church agreed to license me. I was an employee there, but then they pulled me into the scary office and they were like, we've noticed on your Facebook post that you might be affirming of gay marriage. And they sat me down and they were like, you have to promise, if you have this, you have to promise that like you won't ever marry a same-sex couple with this license that we give to you. And I was just like surrounded by men in a library and I was just like, okay, I won't. And I signed on the thing and left. And I went and got licensed on the internet after that because I was like, you know, screw this. And that began the process of me leaving that church. But I wish that I would have looked them in the eye in that room and said, hey, no, actually, I don't want your stinking license. I don't like it at all. Yeah, that's what I wish I would have spoken up. And I wish I would have told everyone on the way out, too, that that's what had happened instead of, like, keeping that on the down low. People deserve to know.
You told him now.
Now you know.
Hey, are you gay affirming?
Call me.
Karen. Oh, man.
Please don't pull me into the office. I don't want to do it.
Yeah, same, Mercy. I was just thinking that. I had a clear story come up, too, but I'm not sharing
You're not
it.
going to tell it.
Nope.
A million times. I know, right?
Yeah, exactly. I know.
Yeah. There's so many of those, Shane. I have so many of those. When I was sitting in a conversation, when I was sitting in the audience of something, and someone said something, and I went, ah, instead of, why would you say that? My dad.
Oh, my God. I love you. I love you, Pop.
Oh my God. Thank goodness for small mercies, I guess, right?
Oh, my goodness. I actually was sitting here thinking to myself, not quite that bold, but I was thinking to myself, I have many more times when I wish I would have taken a beat than I do wishing I had spoken up.
Matthew and I had this. Can I share that we had this conversation at some point?
Sorry, I was replying to a comment. I don't know the conversation.
We had an interesting conversation, you and me, about. I'll share it in a way that feels safe. I feel good about it. About how different personality types either are on either side of this spectrum. Like all of my things are things that I should have said and I didn't, whereas other personalities,
three of
it's
us
like
have had this
all
conversation
things,
before,
yeah,
yes.
all things that like you wish you hadn't said, because there's those who hold the thing in and then those who like throw the thing out depending on your personality.
Well, you-
Then we should throw it.
Yes.
I don't have those stories. I don't have hardly any times where I'm like, oh, shouldn't have said that.
That's the you and I thing all the time. I'm always like, I have way more regrets, and you're like, I wish I had some regrets.
Yeah. Well,
don't have any
I have regrets about things I haven't done.
Yeah. I don't know.
Together, everyone achieves more.
More solos in a song choir in church and
Aw.
high school.
Yeah, you gotta
Wish you
advocate
would
for
have
yourself.
advocated for yourself. Oh, every time I've ever been in a doctor's office.
Yeah, right.
Y'all feel me on that?
Doctors
What
are
is
scary.
that? And there's some weird thing in our culture where, like, you're not getting your needs met or the thing isn't actually getting addressed. Like, I struggled for years with, I still do, but joints swelling up so bad that, like, I can't use them properly. Like,
Right.
actually takes over my life, and was going to doctors all the time. And they would seriously, every time, be like, so what would you like us to do? Like, like in a like very dismissive, like, what?
Right.
Because we've done all the tests on you, and I'm like, I don't know, nothing. I guess. Never mind.
Be
Let's
doctors.
just
I
leave.
don't know.
But yeah,
Solve-
I wish I would have said, well, like, I don't know, maybe help me.
Yeah,
with
find,
this problem.
keep looking until you figure out what's going on.
Care that there's some mysterious thing happening to me that's making my life hard. But anyway.
Hashtag not all doctors, but seriously, like a lot of you. So, with the listening, I did a thing with Fable's doctor once.
Yeah, people are like, yeah, me too, me too,
Yeah,
me too.
I did a thing with Fable's doctor once. I went in like very blonde with makeup on and the whole thing, and he was so dismissive of me and so just like didn't talk to me. The next time I went in, I didn't wear makeup. I wore my glasses. I pulled my hair back, and he like sat down and explained everything to me and like treated me so completely differently. It was wild. It was wild to me how different those two. And I don't know. I mean, maybe I just caught him on a bad day the first time and a better day the second time, but it sure felt distinctly different to me, which was an experience. People are fun. It's not lying when. ...
I pulled that one this morning because I thought it was funny. It made me laugh really hard. Y'all don't have to answer it if you don't want to, but it made me
This
laugh.
is an Enneagram 3 trap, is what this is. This is
that
how
why it made me laugh so hard?
this is how we get in trouble and then have to fend off something that we've said forever and ever and ever. It's not lying when. I'm interested in hearing people's. I would say it's not lying when you are also fooling yourself so much that you don't know what you're saying. Maybe that's a different thing.
That's interesting. So that's really interesting because I was just doing a bunch of reading recently. Had a bad experience with lying recently, which made me really want to understand it. Not with me lying, with someone else lying.
Right.
And I wanted to understand it. And so I started looking into people who actually study why people lie. Mm-hmm. And like every reason is basically that.
Yeah.
Like people aren't just going around being like, okay, here's the truth, and then I'm going to say this instead. No one's doing that.
People
There's
aren't
always
malicious usually. Yeah.
There's always some reason that is actually people believe their own lies.
Yeah.
Ugh, I hate that. It's way too complicated.
Susan says, it's not lying when I say I'm going to quit eating sugar, but always will eat banana bread. I agree. I also think it's not lying when you are trying to, kind of like what Colby's saying, when you're appealing to a higher, deeper value truth. That's sort of where I was going to go.
Agreed.
It's not lying when you're trying to believe something and you are, even if you don't yet believe it, but you know that you want to. Like, it's not lying for me. I don't like listening to the sound of my voice recorded, but it's not lying for me to say, this I think is good when I put it out there, even though I don't totally believe that yet. It is me trying to put together the logical pieces that I have and say, I think people say this is okay and you can hear it. That sort of thing, you know?
For sure, as well as lies of omission, like just don't say everything. Like, just don't. So therefore,
for
that's
sure.
not lying, right?
There are for sure
Should
inside
keep some
thoughts.
stuff quiet.
Inside thoughts. Inside thoughts are important
Right?
to have. Have your inside thoughts on the inside.
This is a weird conversation to have at church.
Right? Well, since when do we
feel
not
a
do
little
weird
odd
things?
about it.
I'm like, oh, this is weird. So right on brand.
Mark, is this your answer? It's not lying when it's embellishing?
You know what I'm going to say? It's not lying in memoir when people
Interesting,
like
Tom.
don't remember and tell the story exactly right when they write a memoir or like things have to be changed. Can we all just accept that memoirs have bits of fiction in them and like
Because that's just memory.
right, it's memory, your memory rewrites things, and also like you don't want to read a very boring book. So like people are going to change things around for flow. Can we all just like stop feeling betrayed
Your
when
3
we
is
find
coming
out?
out hard.
Oh, it makes me so mad. Yeah, exactly. We all get so mad.
Okay.
Like, it was part of it wasn't true. Like, no kidding. Just accept that this is the fact.
Have y'all read A Moral Man?
Yes.
No?
Yes.
Derek Delgadio? Just go read it. And then let's talk about lies.
Some parts of it probably aren't true.
It's not lying when accompanied with chocolate. It's sugar-coated truth. I like it. Sorry, I just had to go
That's
back up
great.
and read more about the banana bread sugar
It's not
conversation.
lying when you do a compliment sandwich for somebody. The compliments are still valid.
Yeah. Let's keep going.
Yeah.
Like I said,
New
we're
one.
stalling this week. We're going to spend more time together.
There, can we let this last answer here? It's not lying when you have retold yourself the story and the story has changed and now you have no idea what is true because you have reheard the story so many times. That's just human memory and you're okay. It's not lying.
That's really funny.
I have a friend that I've been friends with for like, oh, this is fun. I've always been embarrassed about. My friend that I've been friends with for like more than half my life, we fully disagree on most of the experiences that we've had. Like we have completely different memory of almost everything we've ever done together. We've had a totally different friendship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's siblings too,
Yeah.
right? Like siblings never have the same childhood as each other.
Different locations, different days. Like we did or didn't go to Disneyland. Like huge things. They're just, we don't agree.
Are there pictures of the Disneyland
Some
trip?
of the
Because that
things-
one feels like it
But
should
like
be.
some of it happened happened before social media, so like,
Yeah.
who can say?
Yeah.
Who can say what really happened?
Yeah.
All right, I've always been embarrassed about. Ugh. I'm not going to tell you.
Yeah, why would any of us want to share any of
Why
these
would I
things?
point that out to you? I'm hoping you won't notice the things I'm embarrassed about.
Yep, I've got a whole list just
Yep,
running
there it
through my
is.
head. Don't want to say any of
So
them.
remember earlier when we were like, there's inside thoughts and outside thoughts? You can answer this question on the inside if you want to. It's less fun for everybody, but maybe it'll be nice for you.
Some people will experience it as healing.
Topher, yes.
Yeah, me too, love.
I'm embarrassed about
Yep,
ridiculous,
Mercy
like
says everything.
things I couldn't possibly have prevented or controlled. I will be, because of the sensitive thing, embarrassed for days and days and days. Like I bumped into somebody completely accidentally. I don't deserve to live.
Oh, that's a fascinating story.
Huh.
People are willing to share what they are embarrassed by.
I love this about you. I love that journey for you.
Oh, Brooke. I love it. Nice. Aw. Can you make toast?
Toast and eggs are pretty much all you need to survive. Maybe a vegetable. There's like, you can put a frozen thing of vegetables in the microwave, so you're cool. You can survive.
Is that all that matters? Survival? Then you don't have to be embarrassed by it.
I mean, I don't see why cooking has a moral value. Sure. Like, as long as you can feed yourself and stay alive, it's fine. You don't have to do it well.
Oops.
Yeah.
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 Same. In fact, I think last week I said that's the thing that I lie about. Oh, I guess we talked about lying last week too then. Is that what that was answering that question too? I don't remember.
I
Anyway,
don't know either.
that's right, Shane. You shouldn't
That's
be.
absolutely right, Shane. Yeah.
I guess this is why saying the things that we're embarrassed about is helpful.
Yeah.
I
I understand
just
this
don't wanna.
theoretically. Yeah, it's nice.
I just don't wanna.
You don't have to do it well. That's right. Is it chocolate? It's great.
You guys, Golb and I watched the weirdest episode of Great British Baking Show the other night.
Oh no.
Do you
was it
remember what
the
they were called?
Super racist one?
No, that was bad.
Real bad.
Meat cakes. Ew. Like meat pies we've adjusted to. Like
But these were cakes, and not just meat, like layers and layers of vegetables and meat and stuff that looks like frosting but isn't frosting. The whole thing is meant to look like a cake
No,
and
I
be
hate
experienced
it.
like a cake.
I hate that so much.
Just the frosting mashed potato.
Nope, everything, it was different for everybody's theme.
curry
Like,
puree.
people were doing fish cakes and using, curry
Why do
puree.
people want to do this? The same thing, like why do people want to make a cake that looks like chicken? Like why? Why?
Do you feel betrayed by this?
I don't want my senses to be all confuddled. Like I want to look at the thing and be like, this will be savory, and eat
Rather
it.
be cake or chicken?
I don't know. It's hard.
I don't know, but we watched that episode.
I just don't
and
wanna
then
have to
we were
guess.
gonna have cake, and we were really weirded out because we were eating our cake and watching it, and it was strange.
I just want to know
It's a
what I'm
weird
getting
sensation.
into. That's all.
I met two of the bakers who baked for like Nailed It and what's the one with Maya Rudolph? Anyway, I met them last
Maya
night.
Rudolph has a cooking show.
Well, yeah, it's the one she
That's
does
cool.
with, yeah.
Oh.
Oh, Gregor just said the Mexican episode was something. On the Great British Baking Show. We also just watched that one.
I think, but there's something we can say super racist.
So we hit play, made fun of the fact that they got flack for it. We're like thinking that it got made into a bigger deal than it was. Then watched it and we're like, nope, flack warranted. Very, very warranted. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Mandy. I love you, I love you, I love you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Do you feel seen? We love you.
Hopefully her husband was like telling the truth on Facebook. Then it's really.
No,
I mean,
it was this morning.
he posted an hour ago, so if he's late, then we're late too.
Me too, actually. That's not surprising that I share this answer with you.
Looking like I'm trying. Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm embarrassed about almost everything all the time. He's late, and we're late too. Yay! Well, Jordan, I hope that you feel supported by your community.
Moving forward, it's October 23rd. I'm excited.
We have your back, buddy. Bye, Kate. Bye, everybody.
It's just because we really like that bumper music. We like to jam to it. Yeah.
You've been so kind and generous. I don't know how you keep on giving. For your kindness, I'm in debt to you. For your selflessness, my admiration. For everything you've done, you know I'm bound to thank you for it. La 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 la. La 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 la. You've been so kind and generous. I don't know how you keep on giving. For your kindness, I'm in debt to you. And I never could have come this far without you. For everything you've done, you know I'm bound to thank you for it. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. Oh, I want to thank you for so many gifts you gave. Love and tenderness, I want to thank you. I want to thank you for your generosity, the love and the honesty that you gave me. I want to thank you, show my gratitude, my love and my respect for you. I want to thank you. I want to thank you, 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 thank you.
Oh, whoa. Short. Oh, wait, I'm not gone yet.
As a quick little bumper. So during this final month, we've invited anyone who would like to submit a moment of gratitude, just a write-up, a note, a message to say thank you to this community, thank you to its leaders for the way that Sojourn has played a part in our spiritual journeys over the last, for some, 8 years, for some 8 weeks. And so we've got 2 we're going to read this morning, and then in a minute we're going to have someone come read live in the room. So, Kate, you want to read the first one?
Are you scrolling? Am I scrolling? Who's scrolling?
I'll scroll.
On September 16th, 2018, I walked into Sojourn Grace Collective for the first time, terrified but desperately needing to reconnect with a faith community after 25 years away. Walked out.
Oops.
It's cut
I
off. I
cut
can't
it
read
off.
that. There's.
Summer, will you hold, or someone hold the option button
Could
for
try
me?
to guess what the words
Hold the
are
option
on the other
button.
side, but there's some coming that are longer. There we
Boom.
go.
Thank you.
Okay, after 25 years away, I walked out intrigued, still terrified, but clinging to Colby's words, "You don't have to believe what I say, you still belong." I treasure Colby's teachings on the Bible, a place I can't yet visit alone. He gives me so much hope. Kate is my first female pastor. She mothers, speaks with passion and fire, and embraces all of our emotions from grief to joy. She encourages my growth. I love the wisdom they share, the tending, holding, and the love they share with us. They are the first pastors I've had who come to us human to human, vulnerable, honest, and accountable. I am deeply grateful for them and love them so much. I just want to talk back to the people who write these, but I'll keep reading. Safe used to mean being home among the familiar, limiting contact with the unknown, and guarding against triggers. Sojo helped me shift that, to reach out and clasp a stranger's hand during benediction and find family, to walk into a sanctuary with pews and have Kate sit beside me as I processed my anxiety, to learn that I was loved and how to love me too. It's a place that has valued my grief and my joy, and where I found my voice and the value of being heard. It's a place where I found a God of love, not vengeance, doused the flames of hell, and where my truth could coexist with another's truth. This is where I learned I am capable of creating or finding a community wherever life leads me. It's a place where I can be brokenhearted for its ending because I was broken open to see hope, grace, faith, love, belonging, and you beyond what is now. With love for every moment of loving and being loved by you and carrying that love forward, ever present, never ending. Love, Susan. I love you, Susan.
Also hold the option key. This one also got cut off. Good job, Karen. Okay, nailed it. Thanks for the home you have provided. The hundreds of cups of coffee. This person's been around for a minute. The mornings with the kiddos. The Christmas Eve Eves. What are we going to do this year on December 23rd? I'm not going to
Throw a Christmas Eve service?
We still
We can
might.
still do whatever we want.
The Virch churching, the new family I've met around the world, the all belonging, the hugs, all the hugs, the laughter and the tears. It's been a lovely sojourn. I'm a better person for that. So much love to you all. Mark.
Well, that's from Mark?
Yeah,
So yeah, he's been around a minute.
he's been around a minute. One of the OGs.
All the cups of coffee.
One of the OGs.
That's who I think of when I think of. I used to
There's
drink
some?
so much coffee because of Sojo.
Yeah.
Like I drink way less now, but at church I would just stand there and just keep refilling
over
and just
and
keep
over.
refilling.
Your line of coffee team was scrambling all the time.
Uh-huh.
Do you remember, of course you're going to
Excuse me.
remember, when we, so first, 3 months we're in our living room, right? And people just sort of brought coffee and food and all that, and it was lovely. And then we moved to Garfield Elementary in North Park. And this guy, who has unique giftings around caring too much about things that probably shouldn't worthy the attention of caring about,
Enneagram 3.
thought that it was really important that we serve
High quality coffee that had been brewed
that had
in
been
hipster
French
ways.
pressed.
Yeah.
Like, and so we had volunteers, I think mostly Sarah and Nichter, every Sunday morning
Sorry,
making like
Sarah.
16 French presses to fill a giant carafe to like mass-produced French press coffee. Why? Because I don't
I
know.
wish I
thought
would
it
have
mattered.
spoken up when.
I'm sure back then I had some deep value statement as to why I thought that
Always.
it mattered.
He always
right?
attaches a deep
It's not just
value
that I have a
statement
preference
to-
about a thing. It's got to be connected to core. Yes, this matters. Anyway, so you're welcome, those early sojourners, for the coffee. All right, let's do another song.
The paradox of the Enneagram 3. It's be kind to us because we're exhausted, but also make fun of us because it's our own fault that we are exhausted. It's just the truth.
It's not the spark that caused the fire. It was the air you breathed that fanned the flame. What do you think you saw with violence? Will only spread like a disease until it all comes round again. Was John the only dreamer? Sleep with one ear close to the ground and wake up screaming when we lay our cold weapons down. We'll wake up dreaming. Yeah, obsessions with self-preservation faded when I threw my fear away. It's not a thing you can imagine. You either lose your fear or spend your life with one foot in the grave. It's got the last romantic. Sleep with one ear close to the ground and wake up screaming when we lay our cold weapons down. We'll wake up Only love can turn this around. I wake up dreaming everything we lost can be found. We'll wake up dreaming. Only love can turn this around. We'll wake up dreaming everything we lost can be found. We'll wake up dreaming.
I'm short and I almost knocked myself out on that.
Careful, because this shelf.
Oh, the spinning chair. Okay. Here we go.
I'm gonna make sure you're safe before I walk away.
I made it, but I'm already spinning. Okay, so I have to wear these so I can see this, and I need these because I'm a crier. All right. Dear Kate and Colby, How do I even begin? How do I tell you how much you have changed my life while knowing how quickly our short time together is coming to an end? As Colby has taught me, I breathe in and breathe out and just begin. I knew about Sojourn long before I finally joined the Sojo family. I have no idea what took me so long, but I'm here now. I'm a proud mama of 2 daughters. Ooh, here they come. And I adore my 2 daughters-in-law. I finally found a place where my girls, all 4 of them, could come and feel loved and accepted and safe. I don't do well when I walk into new places filled with people I don't know. I was anxious as I made my way towards the church. I was immediately greeted by warm smiles from happy people. A wave of calm quickly flowed over me. From the very first day that I stepped into church on Cass Street, I felt at home. From the spiritual nuggets, the laughs, the tears, the meditation, the music, the collective conversations, you helped me to see that I am enough. I found my people. I found my home. I definitely found my community. A happy community is built with people who feel a sense of belonging and acceptance. You have done that for me, for us. You have built a space where taking care of each other is just as important as accepting people's differences. You have been building an army of belonging doulas long before you ever spoke about it. If you look up the components of a strong community, you will find words like passion, vision, leader, tribesman, content, gathering place, and trust. Kate and Colby, you have given me and us all of those things in spades. We all have our stories of what drew us to Sojo. We all have reasons why we never felt like we fit in anywhere. We have all experienced trauma in our lives and felt like we were not seen or heard. And we have hoped that there was a place somewhere. Now, I know some of you have begun singing that famous song from West Side Story. Well, as I said that, I did as I wrote that sentence. Especially you guys. Learning that Sojourn is winding down was difficult to hear, and it made me sad. It also made me realize just how little time I have had in this loving, safe space. I am so very grateful to you, Kate and Colby, and to all who have helped create a place where I was free to feel my feelings, to speak my truth, and to just be me. Boop. Where do I go from here? I am not sure. I may just replay the old Virtual Church. I know I am not ready to go anywhere else right now. Thank you for teaching me how to hold space for others and for reminding me we are all here to walk each other home to ourselves. That's from you, Kate. I am forever a part of the collective, and you will forever hold a piece of my heart. With much love and gratitude. And I made it! Yay! Shut up!
It's really a wild experience to be so aware of your last times. Just like knowing that I'm sitting here giving my last talk at Sojo. It's bizarre. My brother, well, he's your brother, but I call him my brother, asked me the other day, is it a little bit like, you know, people talk about what it would be like to get to attend your own funeral? And I was like, yeah, it's exactly like that. It is. It's like that. And it's a gift. It's really cool to be aware, because you have those times where you're like, I wish I would have known that something was the last time, you know? You wish you would have been aware of it. And, like, I feel that way about the pre-pandemic Sojo. Wish I would have known that was our last time gathering like that and holding hands. Anyway, this time with you all is a gift. I know I keep saying it, but I didn't expect you all to keep showing up, so thanks for continuing to show up. Okay. I have been obsessed with Alanis Morissette since I was 12 years old when Jagged Little Pill was released. And I just realized this week that the grunge girl image and alternative rock sound I fell in love with was a complete departure from her first 2 albums of dance pop, for which every move was perfectly choreographed, her hair and makeup carefully chosen by her production company to market her as a girly pop icon the likes of Tiffany and Debbie Gibson. Her hair was big and her earrings bigger. She never would have caught my attention like that, let alone stolen my heart and given me my wings like she ended up doing when she moved to LA and became the Alanis Morissette we all love to scream along to when we're sad. Why am I crying about Alanis Morissette? When Jagged Little Pill became a worldwide phenomenon, it was really the track You Oughta Know that got people obsessing. It is angry. It's provocative because it's angry from a feminine voice. In a world of suppressed feminine rage, You Oughta Know was cultural release. It was permission. It was a key unlocking generations of pain and invisibility. Alanis's blatant, hey, that freaking hurt and I'm mad about it and you should know that, it gave a voice to a societal ache. And that is what it goes down in history as, the anthem of an angry woman. I listened to Alanis talk about the album Jagged Little Pill in an interview this week. And when addressing how people feel about it and the way they associate it with that rage, Alanis asked, "What about Head Over Feet? What about You Learn?" She said that album was full of hope and joy and lightheartedness too, but it's the anger that stood out and stayed with folks forever. Because that's the piece of her music and her essence that served us well. It was what we needed from her, and so we took it and we used it. When I have worshipped Alanis Morissette, it's not because I see her. It's because I've fixated on her rage. I have not been obsessed with the person of Alanis Morissette. Turns out I didn't really know who she was at all. I was just obsessed with one facet of who she is because it makes me feel seen, represented, understood, and safe. She has been, in this way, a product to me that I have consumed for my own use, and it has served me really well. And I wonder, this morning, for those of you here with us, I want to ask, what facet of your being do you feel that others fixate on? Is it that you're smart, athletic, a bit of a screw-up, an addict, pretty, wise, calm? Is it that you're quiet, empathetic, helpful, aloof, mean, sensitive, talk too much? What piece of your being overshadows the rest, stops you from being seen as a whole? It never matters if it's something we could qualify as good or bad. It's just that it's only one part of our story that stands out. Something about us that somewhere along the way we over-identified with, and it became too much of us. This happens to all of us because we live in a consumeristic society that devours humans as goods, as another product on the shelf. As a society, we don't practice wholeness. We practice separation. And so we fixate on pieces and we miss the whole. We don't see the whole picture. We miss the human. We obsess over the trait or the story that serves us, that gives us our fix. And then we discard the rest like candy wrappers. We eat people up all day long, scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. And so I ask, in what way is only one aspect of who you are used by others to serve a purpose, to protect a story, to boost an ego, to make us more comfortable? How, specifically, do you get consumed by society? No, really, I'm asking. Please share. I ask because I hope. I still have so much hope in our mission of wholeness. This week, I had a few moments of falling for an age-old lie. I kept thinking different versions of this thought. How the hell am I supposed to show up to church on Sunday and talk about wholeness when I've never been so broken in my life? Because we've been told our whole lives that brokenness is what opposes wholeness. That we are broken and we need to be made whole. We need to be fixed. Which really just looked like, hey, if it's uncomfortable, keep a lid on it. Lock that shit up. Meanwhile, the actual antithesis of whole is incomplete. It is about what is missing, not about what is broken. And so, in fact, sometimes what is missing is our brokenness. The things that are too hard to talk about. The pain we learned to hide. The skeletons are many, and gathering those bones is the practice that makes us whole. Practicing wholeness is about gathering up what's been discarded. It's the integrity of the human experience, trusting that it really does all belong. And that's why I'm so hopeful, because of the thing that we've been doing here. The mission we've been on to comb through the graveyards of our life stories and resurrect everything. As we've shown up together these last 8.5 years at Sojo, it's been in the name of wholeness. Hoping to show up to community in a way that sees people rather than consumes people. So instead of, how can you serve me and my story? It's, how can I see you and be seen by you? Because wholeness always means mutuality. Otherwise, it's just another consumeristic transaction. I've asked you to name ways in which you've been consumed. The facets of your being that are fixated on making you a product rather than a person. But like I said, I asked you to name it because I have hope. Hope in the restoration of practicing wholeness together. And so now I'd like to ask you to bring to your attention that which has been made whole. How have you experienced the practice of the mission of wholeness? What specifically was lost that got reintegrated? What has been seen that previously was on lockdown? How are you becoming so much more than that one thing that the world tells you you have to offer? Can we practice seeing you this morning? Oh, looks like we're getting taken over by some awful spam. Did you? As we've practiced this mission of wholeness, we've named it as 3 parts: emotional, social, and spiritual wholeness. And I'd like to end this morning, close out our time together, focusing in on the spiritual aspect of wholeness and talk about God for a minute. As you bring to mind ways in which you have been made whole, things that have been brought back to life in you, ways in which you've been seen, pieces of you that have come back into the picture and been seen in community. I really hope you practice this. And as you do, I just want to say a quick word about this big idea of God that we've just spent the last 8.5 years trying to find new ways to talk about. Barbara Brown Taylor said that she wrote the book Leaving Church, which is why I trust her. She said that the call to serve God is first and last. The call to serve God is first and last. The call to be fully human. So I wonder, maybe this is what it means to love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength. It's just simply to be. To be. Maybe if God wants anything from us, it's that we would just be. Like the actual implication of be still and know that I am God is that we would be still and know that we are human. Just be. So that's my invitation to you this morning as you've been naming what it is that people fixate on about you that makes you feel incomplete. And then you name what it is that has been brought back to life as you've practiced wholeness and community. As you practice naming these things, I invite you to just be so wholly human. Just be when you're in your darkest night and your most broken road. Just be. Just be when you're weary and alone and tired and afraid. Just be. When you're hopeful and giddy and angry and bitter. When you're on top of the world and when you're sure that it's over and you have nothing left to give. Just be fully human. And know that that's serving God. That that's loving the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength. Just be human fully. And know, beyond the shadow of a doubt, know deep in your bones, that as you just be, all shall be well, and all manner of things shall be well, because it really does all belong. Is that a funny image to come back to?
It's very violent. That's not what we're doing.
I like taking communion with y'all so much. I'm gonna miss it. Colb's grabbing food things. We weren't prepared because we're a hot mess. I love y'all.
Excited to see what he finds up there.
I think he's getting pastry of some sort. Exciting.
You got some cheese Danish that I got for you, I think.
I like cheese Danish more than I like most things.
Can I squeeze in?
Yep. I don't know.
All the way out on the edge.
I know, but moving this stool's too hard, so I'm not doing it.
Fine with that.
We take communion every week at Sojo, always have, because it is a embodied practice in this world that consumes us, that disembodies us. We practice embodied spiritual practices. So we put yummy things in our mouths and we take this old practice that was used in shitty ways. And we experience joy and community and connection around it. We make it ours. Know that you belong. And you are whole.
This looks like cinnamon roll with maple on the top. I don't know.
What?
I'm gonna go for it though, because it looks fantastic.
It's extra. I know. He's usually a little nibbler. I'm the one that shoves the entire roll in my mouth. Artichoke dip with celery.
That's really good.
Delish. I might have to take a bite
I would
of
give
that
someone
too.
a handshake if they served that to me.
Do you guys know that Paul Hollywood is my favorite human that exists on planet Earth? I don't know why. It's his eyes.
Take your cup, whatever it is, and may you be reminded. There is no separation between you and God. That old story that you are distant from the divine, and the only way to bridge that chasm is through some sort of blood sacrifice. If nothing else, we spent 8.5 years saying there's a better story than that. That's not a good story. That's not good. You're always connected. You're always loved. Take and drink. Yeah, take some of that.
You can start singing your song. I'm just gonna grab some of this.
When the rain is blowing in your face, start singing, she says. And the whole world is on your case. I could offer you a warm embrace to make you feel my love. When the evening shadows and the stars appear, and there is no one there to dry your tears, I could hold you for a million years to make you feel my love. I know you haven't made your mind up yet, and I could never do you wrong. I've known it from the moment that we met. No doubt in my mind where you belong. I go hungry, I go black and blue, and I go crawling down the avenue. No, there's nothing that I would not do to make you feel my love. The storms are raging on the rolling sea, and on the highway of regret. The winds of change are blowing wild and free. You ain't seen nothing like me yet. I could make you happy, make your dreams come true. There's nothing that I wouldn't do. Go to the ends of the earth for you to make you feel my love. To make you feel my love.
Here who wants to is comfortable. Come hang out.
It's real cozy.
Cozy time.
I know you guys don't.
Violet, and we're on the screen all of the time. Get in there.
As they do, we've got just a couple house notes. First house note is, yes, Donna, sounds like some people answered your question. This is not the last service. Next week is the last service. So for those of you virtually who want to come on back, come back next week. And if anybody wants to travel and join us, come travel and join us.
Just so you know, all service long I've just been staring.
That's the baby.
You know me
The
and my
baby.
pointing issue. Yeah, baby.
And also, Mercy, it sounds like many people want to make food for you. Mercy in the comment sections, like every week I read all what people are eating for communion. She's like, whose house do I want to crash and have cook for me, make for me? And Susan's like, I'll bake for you. And Brooke's like, I'll make a pot roast for you. So,
It's going to be an exciting time for you, Merce.
yeah.
Just bounce around eating good food.
And if you've been
people.
holding back, not submitting a moment of gratitude, a chance to thank the Sojourn community, you have 6.5 more days to do it. So get it in. And then a couple other questions that have come up. Yes, the Sojourn Sanctuary will remain a thing, so that we can continue to connect there and periodically post events, such as it sounds like maybe we're doing a Christmas Eve service anyway. And then this Friday, if anybody's in town and wants to come out Friday night to Grand Ole Barbecue out east on Flint Springs, I'm going to be doing some live music there with a little Americana folk band that I put together. So come on out. I think a bunch of Sojo crew's going to come out and have some good barbecue and some above average music. All right. I think that's it for the notes. So now we'll put this up there. This is our weekly benediction. Pretty
Someone
wild.
in the house.
We've said it like,
Be brave.
oh, because you're a child of God. Good, cut me off. That's wise.
Sorry.
No, that's wise.
No,
So
you
wise.
have to. Yeah, he'll just keep.
Remember,
talking.
MCT is how mostly Colby's talking.
Be kind.
Because so is everyone else. Love you. Have good weeks. We'll see you next Sunday.
Couple more questions. What's the Sojourn Sanctuary? It's our Facebook page that's private for us all to connect on, so you can request to be part of it.
Hypotheoretically, if you go to sojournsanctuary.com, it'll forward you to that group where you can request access.
And then Brooke, yes, all those old services are still there. They don't go away. They stay. You can
Yeah.
scroll back and find them all.
Yeah. I agree. You had me at above average, right? All right. Bye.
Later.